I just gotta hit it one time. Let's go!
Well, hi everybody, welcome to Dork Tales. I'm normally in that seat, but today I'm in this one because Jen is running this brand new chronicle from the World of Darkness. Hey Jen, what are you running? If they couldn't see at the bottom of the screen.
Well, for those people who can't read or who are listening in podcasts where this will eventually go, I'm assuming, or something.
Probably.
I don't know. But hi, I'm Jen. I use her pronouns, and I am your storyteller for this Hunter the Reckoning game called Sanctuary. And I'm very excited. We have come to this decision and character creation and all the rest very quickly. So as we needed a replacement for our Transylvania Chronicles once since that's ended a book and needs a break.
It's just going on hiatus, folks.
Yeah.
Don't freak out. We've already had a couple of people freak out in comments about it. Like, oh, where's it going? Like, no, it's coming back. I just need a couple months to edit the hell out of the next book.
Exactly. And you know, Robin's harvest schedule and all the rest. It's nice to have a little break. And so now we get to do this, which is cool. But let's meet the players. Kelly, your turn again.
Hey, it's me. Hey everybody. Are you meeting the players or meeting the characters or both?
Just you guys. We'll do characters later.
Perfect. Hey everybody, I'm Kelly. I am the normative host here at Dork Tales, normally being the storyteller, dungeon master, game master, what have you. And I am taking a couple of months off from running Vampire the Masquerade so that I can focus on being a player and also to just get a breather and stuff like that. I'm excited to do this. I haven't played Hunter under Jen in years and years and years. And I think it was the first game that Jen was ever in, was a Hunter game.
The first WOD game, yeah. Roman ran it. Well, actually,
yes.
you ran one table and Roman ran the other at the
I remember
same time. We had like 16
in,
people.
It was wild times. But yeah, I'm an Aquarius, and I'm going to be playing a real beefcake daddy. That's what I got.
Cool. Moving on to Chris, I think, is the order we're in.
Hi, I'm Chris. I play. I was about to say I play Renaud or La Sombra. Wait, wrong game. I've been playing some World of Darkness games for a while. I think maybe almost as long as Kelly. Dun dun dun.
I think actually you've been playing a little longer than me because you started playing in like junior high.
Yeah, and it was early middle school. It was a old vampire game, so for that D&D was in elementary school. But yeah, I've been gaming for a long time. Looking forward to playing this. In the meantime, Hunter is it's like a candle that's burning at both ends, and I can't wait to see how this ends, like tragically.
It's why all of the color schemes are orange and arsony.
For optimism.
Hey, yeah, speaking of arson, Traz, hi.
Oh, hi, yes. Well, okay, so I have to set things on fire. Got it. But hi, I am Trez. I use pronouns, and World of Darkness is slowly becoming my home. And I think Hunter was actually the first World of Darkness I played, and it was under Jen.
Something extra life something because it was fun, yeah. But yeah, cool. And last but not least, Cal.
Hey everybody, my name's Cal, of Dork Tales fame. Geez, any world. I think when I had my own money and I discovered eBay was the first time, and I just randomly came across, I was like, oh, Vampire the Masquerade. I really liked that, the video game. I was like, 2005, 6 or something like that. And I ordered that green Vampire the I think it was like a flower on. I can't remember.
It was the rose. It's the rose and marble.
Marble, yeah, like the green and black marble. And I got that, and then I couldn't get anybody to play with me for decades.
And now you're here.
And now
we love it.
Now I'm here.
Speaking of eBay, speaking of eBay though, at one point, I think I was either just out of university or like in my last couple of years, or like last year or so, I spotted somebody selling basically somebody's entire collection of Hunter the Reckoning books, and I bought it. I bought all of it. I have almost all of the paperbacks. It's so good. But yeah, Hunter was my first World of Darkness game. I played an Avenger who died that game because she was an Avenger, and that's what they do,
As is tradition.
as
You
is
seem to
tradition.
die a lot in games. I've been hearing.
It's true. It's true. So we're playing 5th edition Hunter, right, Jen? Because that's the newest and therefore obviously best one.
God, no. If there was 20th edition, we'd be playing that, but we found out there isn't one, which was good because I didn't know that there might have been one. But somebody updated some 20th edition sheets and I think logos or something to
Mm-hmm.
match it up with other 20th edition stuff. But no, we are playing Hunter Revised slash first edition technically, because it's tech. I don't think there was, I don't know.
There's
how
only
many
been one
editions there
edition of
were, but
Hunter.
yeah. But we
Yeah.
call it Revised because it matches up with all the other Revised, and it came
Yep.
out in 1999, right when everything else was becoming revised, because it's part of the World of Darkness canon, is that there was the whole, Avatar, Sword and stuff, and Mage, and Hunters became a thing all at the same time as the world was coming to an end in 2004. So fun times. But yeah, speaking of just a little bit about the game, because I know not everybody's familiar with Hunter, and I want to just give people that idea of what it's about. It's about regular people who are suddenly confronted with um, monstrosity and what they do about that. Um, there are these beings. Some people think they're angels. Some people think they're just like weird forces of nature. I don't know. I don't really have an opinion on exactly what they are, but they're called messengers or heralds, and they basically imbue these normal people with ability so that they can fight the monsters around them. Some people decide to ignore that and run away, and they're called bystanders. And the hunters are what come out of the people who decide to do something about it and stand up for mortals, stand up for humanity. It is a very brutal game. You are squishy humans in a world filled with vampires and mages, and while the stats may not line up exactly with, say, using vampire or mage or werewolf stats in a hunter game, it might be a little bit balanced, it's not balanced in your favor. So be careful. But yeah, it's a fun game.
Where's the
I love
fun
it.
in that? Where's the fun in being careful?
You just may die. That's what happens in Hunter. People die. But yeah, it's about humanity and their story in amongst everything, which is kind of cool. For this game itself, we don't have an audience today because we are recording this, because we are squeezing this into a very short time period, and I don't want to waste any actual game sessions.
Yep.
So we decided to just do this off schedule on a Saturday, to just record it, and so that you guys can still see our session 0, and we have time set aside to actually do character creation and all of that. That's helpful. This game is set in Vancouver. It's set in 2025, so modern day Vancouver. Vancouver at this point, it's a world of darkness, and more people, more disparity between upper and lower classes, and more poverty, more wealth, more problems of all sorts. I did want to point out that one of the things I'm kind of updating or slash changing slash improving about Vancouver in this time is that the um public transit is much better than it currently is, but traffic is much worse still. So There's so many people, but the SkyTrain will now get you basically all over, which is basically our subway. If you don't know what SkyTrain is, I think we've
Yep.
talked about it in other games, but yeah, if you don't know what it is, it's a subway system above the ground. And sometimes below the
Unless
ground,
it's not,
unless it's
right?
not. Yeah. But it will basically get you. I'm not gonna like do out routes or anything because that's just too much work for a short chronicle. But it basically will get you more or less where you want to go across the greater Vancouver area. So
Nice. If you decide to rope in anything from Dominion into your chronicle, the Bruces are funding the Evergreen line presently, which takes you from downtown to like UBC, so it does all of Kitsilano as well now. So
nice.
it's basically been written into like the Dork Tales World of Darkness anyway. So like,
Well, there you go. Well, I was gonna say, I wasn't gonna bring it up specifically, but since you brought up Dominion, this is probably the same continuity, but it is a different perspective. So if descriptions differ, if things get a little wonky, it's because you're seeing it from a different point of view than the Bruce family. But and it's a good time to plug that Patreon to see Dominion before you watch the end of this show.
What? Billionaires having a different point of view than normal
Right.
people?
So
I
weird.
don't know if I
Weird
can
that.
suspend my disbelief enough to do that.
Weird. Cool. Okay, so yeah, that's the basic game. You guys are playing regular people. You will be imbued in the first episode. So while we will build hunters, I will say that you're absolutely welcome to choose the creeds, which are the kind of character type that like a vampire clan basically, but it's a creed. You're welcome to choose that. You're welcome to choose your edges, which are your abilities. I will choose how it all kind of manifests in that first moment. And also, it doesn't cost anything in that first moment. That's actually part of a rule in the book, is that even powers that would cost a conviction, which I'll get into in a minute, don't for your first one. And you don't have to roll for it because the idea is like if uh, if I had you secretly roll something and just said, "Hey, roll this," and then you failed, how would I explain that in the moment of your imbuing?
welcome to being a
Right?
bystander.
Right. Now you're a bystander. Good job.
You
You
got
get to play the
fired
rest of this
during the
game
job
with,
interview.
yeah, there you go. But yeah, let's go over a few of the hunter specific rules here. Your character sheet, it looks like a normal World of Darkness character sheet until you get down to like your abilities and stuff, or your not abilities, that's an actual thing, your advantages. Hunters have these things called virtues, which are like how you choose to deal with this supernatural world you've been confronted with. So they come in three flavors: mercy, vision, and zeal. And those dictate what kind of edges or powers that you can have. Um, they are technically like supernatural abilities because you've been imbued with this sort of power, but they aren't nearly as good as most supernatural abilities. So there's that. The other thing that hunters have is conviction, like I mentioned. And conviction is, to use a more religiously fraught term, faith. It's the belief in yourself and what you're doing and your ability. And conviction is very, very important in this game. You will all have a starting conviction, which you can go below, but if you ever reset your conviction, there's a couple of ways to do that. Whether it's, I say you reset it because you're at the start of a new story or something, or you gain a new virtue point, because this is how you gain virtue points, is just through conviction. Then you reset to your starting conviction. But if you do some other things, you might lose all of your conviction and then be a very, very sad human. Um, da, 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 da. Okay, actually, now's a good time to go into the thing I forgot about Hunter, which was the gambling aspect. Yay, gambling. Conviction goes from 1 to 10. you usually start with 3 or 4, and then you can buy up to 8 with freebie points at creation, but you cannot buy any with XP. You can't buy virtue points with XP or freebies. You can't buy edges with anything but virtue points. So how the heck do you get more power, essentially? And once you reach 10 in conviction, you have a choice, if you want, to essentially cash it in for a virtue point, because you have now gained enough belief in yourself that you're kind of manifesting more of this power you've been imbued with. To get up to 10, since you can't buy any or do anything, sometimes I might reward you with some. Sometimes there might be some other ways to get it, but the main way you get more conviction is by risking conviction. And when you do a roll for any of your edges, you have the choice to risk conviction. You can risk as many points of conviction as you want, up to and including all of your conviction. And you get that many dice to add to your roll. More dice, more success, maybe.
And it's once a scene, right?
I will get to that in a minute, but yes. If you succeed, you gain a point of conviction at the end. So no matter how many you risk, you gain 1 point of conviction if you succeed at that roll. If you fail, you lose all of the conviction you risked. There we go. If you botch, because you can still botch on these rolls. If you roll 0 successes and at least 1 then you lose all of your conviction, no matter how much you risked. And I think there's some other bad things that happen to you. You get real depressed. You get real like, what's the point of any of this? It gets real melancholy. And yeah, so you can, as you risk conviction, you can gain conviction, but there's always potential cost. And once you get to 10, cash it in for a virtue point. And then once you get a certain number of virtue points, you can get edges. In terms of edges, they have a weird spending ability. So, or like it's a weird buying ability for edges. So if you have 1 dot in, let's go with mercy. If you have 1 dot in mercy, you can buy the level 1 mercy power of, I'm going to say, any of the mercy tracks, essentially, because if mercy's not your primary one, then you can basically buy like level 1 mercy of any of them. If mercy's your primary, you probably want to go in whatever your creed is, whatever that path of edges is, because that makes sense. However, if you get 2 mercy points, you don't get the 2nd dot. You have to have 3 mercy points to get the 2nd dot, because every edge costs that many in virtue points. So it's 1, 3, 6, 10, and then technically, and I only just read how you're actually supposed to get there, 15. There aren't 15 dots on the sheet, but you can get to 15 technically in a special way, and you go very crazy doing it. Yeah, you guys aren't going to get to 15 during this game. It's too short, and that's an insane
Literally
escalation. Literally. I'd say chances are good you could get to a level 3 power if you're all in 1 stack or one virtue, because you need 6 points there. Now, I could be wrong, and you guys might do really well with risking conviction, and we're going to get to some extra little spicy rules that I'm kind of throwing in here. But the other thing I wanted to say about edges before I come off that is that in every creed book there are alternative edges, and I mentioned in our chat, and I'll mention now, that if you say, Kelly, I'm going to use you as an example because that's just easiest. Kelly the defender is playing a defender, and if he wants the level 1 defender edge out of the core book, and then the level 2 out of the creed book. He is absolutely welcome to do that. If he wants the level 1 out of the creed book and the level 2 out of the core book, also absolutely fine. If he wants the level 1 out of both, also fine. It's 1 and 1, and then he has an extra point for something, which he could use in another mercy category if he really wants to. You cannot have more virtue points in or your primary virtue, which all creeds will have a primary virtue, must have at least equal amount of virtue points as anything else. So you can put 1 in each column if you want, but you can't then put, if you're a mercy, you can't then put 2 in zeal if you don't already have 2 in mercy. So, but it doesn't have to have more than it, just as long as it's equal to, then you're fine. And then the last thing I want to say about kind of current rules is that for XP expenditure, I did mention this briefly. Really, the only thing you have to spend XP on are like mundane abilities, attributes. I think there's like 3 things on the XP chart because that doesn't even include backgrounds, which is really funny to me. It's like here's your abilities, attributes, and I think willpower might be on there. And that's like all you can buy with
Or
XP.
yeah, I noticed
Um,
it. It's
yeah.
nice.
Yeah, I will say I will allow you to buy backgrounds at a cost of 2 times the dot.
Woohoo!
If you have like role play reasons to do so, that's fine. Most of these older games seem to lean towards backgrounds being something you can only get in your background. You can only have it prior to the game, but you can do things to like bump your resources up. It's a possibility. So there's that. Now, a couple of new rules I wanted to go over that aren't from the book, but I think that they'll make things a little more fun. In terms of risking conviction, the core book rule is that you can only do it once per scene. If you're not sure if there's a new scene, ask. However, if there's a scene where your character's personal emotion is extremely high or the stakes are high, the game allows me to reward more conviction for moments like that. Instead, I'm going to allow you to risk conviction as many times as you want. If your character's emotion is super, super high / the stakes are super high. If basically just make an argument to me that that's like how you're feeling essentially. However, if you botch that, the risk of failure is going to be much, much higher than just a normal like conviction botch. So keep that in mind.
As it should be.
As it should be. Yay. In exchange, so since instead of rewarding more conviction there, I'm allowing you to do that. I can also, at my discretion, if you have a particularly like you pull a Christine and roll like 12 successes on 4 dice, then I might reward you extra conviction there as you feel better about yourself and you feel more faith in yourself. So I might do that. Also, because I forgot to mention this, if you risk conviction succeed, you get up to 10, you don't want to cash it in for a virtue point, you don't have to at that point, because there are still benefits to spending and risking conviction, or well, spending conviction and I guess risking it if you want the dice after that. So if you're in the middle of a fight and you don't want to power up your virtues in that moment, you don't have to. However, if you end the fight with less than 10, you can't then say you want to bump up your virtue. So just keep that in mind. But yes, so if you're particularly more successful on a roll where you risk conviction, I might give you more conviction. And then, like other World of Darkness games, we are using the 10s only explode if you have a specialty. However, I'm also adding the rule that they will explode on edge rolls because those are fun.
Yeah.
Right? And I might regret this because you guys might become conviction monsters, but for a short run, and that's fine. If you reach 7 in a virtue and you gain a derangement, because that's what happens when you reach 7 in a virtue, you start to become more and more crazy. That's fine. It'll be fun. Cool. Okay. That's everything I kind of had before some character creation stuff. If you guys have any questions for me, or
Not at the top of the
anything like
bat. So we are going to be dealing with derangements in this one, which is kind of a touch and go issue. So
Yeah.
that said, I think it's very important to know that the derangements that are in Hunter, like you don't get these cognitive impairments from being like a bad person. Like you don't
No.
get them from like rolling poorly. You get them from literally having too much power that your brain stops functioning normally. So I feel like in Hunter, it's a little more understandable.
Yeah. And also, we'll figure out like if for some reason there's a moment where you should gain a derangement according to the rules, we'll probably figure it out after the game, and you'll get it. It'll kind of develop into next game sort of thing,
Mhm.
so that we don't have to decide in the moment what the best course of action is. Because I like both player and storyteller to have that moment of reflection, right? Of like, what would actually work here? Um, that being said, if there is something that I'm forgetting that will like instantly grant something like that, like a power or whatever, if it's on another player, then I mean, well, you guys won't be using your powers don't work on on the rest of you. Um yeah, hunter powers don't work on mortals. Yay.
Hacks.
Yay.
There might be a couple ones that do, but they're ones that help mortals, because that's the idea, is that you're supposed to help humanity. So anything that's damaging doesn't actually hurt mortals in any way. Again, just because I was looking at them, take the defender power of ward. Ward will make monsters stumble back, but not mortals. So fun times. It means you can protect people that way. But yeah, so if there's anything that like does have to happen immediately in game, we'll do our best. But if we can delay and just chat about it after game and whatnot, then we will.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I'm hyped. So what should we do now?
Character creation. Let's talk about what types of characters you're playing. So that we can all have a little chat about your character concepts and whatnot. If you've built your sheet already, or you have a kind of general idea of, at the very least, your primaries, like primary attributes and abilities, secondary, tertiary, those sorts of things, or what edges you guys want, stuff like that, or backgrounds. If you have any ideas on any of that, let's talk about it. If you don't, then we can just start with character concept and go from there.
Nice.
Kelly, do you want to start, since I know
Totally.
I already have your sheet?
Yeah, I'm pretty much done. I just need to reallocate. So I'm going to be playing a guy named Colt Burton. Colt grew up alongside a to be named notorious biker gang that runs. We're going to use a fictional one so that we don't bring real world biker gangs, because there's a big biker problem outside of Vancouver. Into the fray, grew up with it. He was the younger brother in his family, so he had the whole like, you're not gonna join up with this. Like you're gonna be good, and you're gonna stay away from it. And so he was always kind of in the peripheral as like the little brother. Ended up making a nice name for himself in the organization by trying to break up a fight when he was in his early 20s and getting beer bottled in the face. So he's got a pretty wicked scar on half of his face. And the next day, he ended up booking an audition to be a thug in a TV show because of his scar, or well, his wounds. Ended up at the taping of a CW drama or whatever it was at the time in the early 2000s. Met his wife when he quote unquote mugged her. And
Nice.
they since have married. He's gotten work as a stuntman. And they have a teenage daughter, and she, as far as the plot is right now, she has presently passed away recently due to a
The wife, not the
the
daughter.
wife.
Correct.
The daughter is still alive.
Yeah.
So the wife recently passed away after basically being driven home by a studio car. The driver rolled the car and killed them. And
Yep.
I thought that was particularly tragic that a stuntman's partner, you know, the guy who should have died 100 times is fine, and then on a little shuttle drive home, she passes.
Yeah.
And so he's basically living off of her insurance and residuals, and raising his daughter. He is very depressed, and he is a Pedro Pascal character if I've ever seen one. I'm going
Fair.
physicals primary with him. I've got a specialization in stamina for tough as hell, because he's a stunt guy. He's used to taking, even though he's in his 40s, he's used to taking a hit. He's fairly charismatic, got a charisma of 3, and then everything else, mentals and socials, are all 2s presently. Talents, he's got athletics 4 with a specialization in impacts. Anything where he should probably
Nice.
pop a knee out of socket, he gets specialty on it.
Nice.
And then he still rides a motorcycle, so he's got a specialty in drive. But besides that, you don't get as many points in Hunter, so he's pretty spread thin. Yeah, he's got like enough survival that he's been camping. He's got enough animal kin that he has a dog. Oh, I gotta name a dog. Dog.
There you go.
And then for his powers, I'm taking the basic ones for defenders. I'm going to take Ward, which is the Backfoul Fiend, and Rejuvenate, which means he heals way faster, which seems very fitting. Because there's and he can also help heal other people with that. As for merits and flaws, since we're using the ones from the player's guide, his merits are Good Right Hook, Daredevil, Smooth, and Best Friend. I switched Wealthy Spouse for Best Friend, so his brother is still in the biker club, and I need to know, his name is Colt Burton. Is his brother's name Remington Burton, or Remy? They're both named after guns? Okay, good. Remy Burton.
Yeah.
Or Rem.
I was hoping it was Bert.
But it's not Burton. So, as for flaws, I have the 1-point medicated flaw. He takes blood pressure medicine and a ton of NSAIDs. But there's only a 1 and a 5-point version. And I was like, he can probably survive a couple days without his heart meds. Distinguishing characteristic, big ass scar. Ghoulish sense of humor, because have you met this kind of guy? Like, that's what they are. He has 1 child, so that's a point. And he has got nosy neighbors, because they live in a wealthy area of Vancouver with like a yard, and his next door neighbors are probably like an older woman who's doing the whole like, oh, I need to take care of these, you know, that poor man who it should have been him, but now his daughter is just all alone with him. I should help. And is constantly like breaking in when we're hacksawing a vampire's legs off or something.
Cool. Good.
Yeah.
How old is your daughter?
She is, I feel like she's either like 16 or 17. She's old enough, she's still my responsibility for the time being, but close enough that if I just survive the hunt for a year or 2, she might be okay.
Okay. Cool.
And her name is Isla, pronounced Isla, but she uses her mom's name, so she's Isla Reeve. And
cool.
Yeah. And Harper Reeve was the mother.
Nice. Let me make note.
Balding is a flaw in this?
Balding is a flaw. Have you ever met a bald guy? No. The hunter and demon merits and flaws are great. The demon, the demon the Fallen has no internet access, which in 2002, 2003, not a huge deal. In 2025 should be a 4-point flaw.
Right? Yeah. I also like how
6-point flaw, cannot go online.
Yeah.
I need to go online.
I like
need a
how
computer.
Hunter split out some like legal and economic specific flaws.
I
It's
saw those.
delightful.
Yeah. They're pretty rough, actually.
Yeah, right. Cool. And how long has your wife been dead?
I'm thinking, okay, help me out with this. What is the most depressing way to do this? Like 6 months to a year?
Recently.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's say dead.
Not coming up on a 1-year anniversary?
Ooh,
That's
That's very
That's pretty
TV
rough.
show.
It
11
is.
months.
Nice.
But they were together
That's
for like
actually-
20.
And whatever days it is until they imbues.
Whatever.
I almost wrote down just the number 11, and I was like, I should clarify that in my notes.
Should you?
How long has your wife been dead? 11.
11. Wait, you're
11 hours
11
or
what?
11 years?
11 like
Yes.
from
Yeah.
from Stranger Things is your wife? I guess she's
Right.
How old were you when you started dating? You're like 40 and she's like No.
Drake. Is that you?
Drake?
Right.
I'm playing Drake.
No.
I'm going to play him as a hermit cuz he's not coming outside anymore.
He
Fair.
lost that one rap battle against Lamar, and
I heard Rat Battle and was very excited for a minute.
Fair.
Rats.
rat battle.
Rat Battle.
Jen, can we have a rat battle?
Rat Battle.
I mean, maybe.
Uh-oh, actually. Wait, we're humans.
Right. Do you have any like other than that best friend Merritt? Do you have any like allies, contacts, anything
So
like
I have-
that that you want
I
to?
have 2 points of contacts. I've got
Mhm.
contacts in the club, and I've got contacts. So like 1 point in club, 1 point in like industry contacts,
Okay, cool.
like film industry. I don't intend
yeah.
to bring film because whenever I do Vancouver, I always do a bunch of film stuff, and I'm not gonna subject you to that much, Jen, because I know it interests you a lot less than it interests me. But
I mean, yeah, fair.
at the same point, like, he hasn't been
I might
working.
already
like-
have some.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
I might.
Then
I
in
might
that
have some
case,
stuff for that. So.
whatever works.
Yeah. Cool. Great. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Does anybody else have kind of more of their character done or want to talk about their
Yeah.
character?
I've got most of the character sheet done. I haven't assigned any of the freebie points yet. I'm going to be playing Daniel Braxton, who was a paramedic who ended up burning out and having a bit of a mental breakdown after a death in his family. And he, instead of going back to work as that, has dedicated most of his life to helping out the less fortunate in East Van. And he's the person who died in his family was his brother, who had a bit of a gambling problem and then sunk into other forms of addiction from there and actually passed away on the street. It was really traumatic for him because he was called without them knowing that it was who it was. So he was right there when it happened, and he ended up not going back to proper work there. He is with this guy. I wanted to really play like I've been playing a lot of gray or really, really terrible people lately, and I just really wanted to play a good guy, like who's just straight up like he is how he seems. He's not necessarily like the most social, but he does get like really chatty when he gets nervous as well. I was going to go as a redeemer for him to kind of fit in with that. His primary is going to be mental. I figured wits would be a good one to kind of have a specialty in, maybe under adaptable for just being used to having to strap things together to do whatever you can to try and keep somebody
Yeah.
alive. Like
That sounds
from-
good.
from job, maybe slightly. I think for now I was thinking perception 3, socials I was keeping all 3, just at 2, and then physical the only one I was thinking was maybe stamina. Debating maybe dex, but we'll see from there.
Yeah, dex or stamina are good for like medical background.
Yeah, I might just throw a bunch of freebie points into like increasing some of his attributes. But
Yeah.
otherwise, mostly talents, knowledges, and then very little abilities. Of course, he does know how to drive, having been a paramedic. So that's probably his highest talent there. Lots of medicine, a little bit of academics, smattering of just like kind of other things, and a few just kind of one-ups. Like I think almost anyone who's lived on the West Coast here has been camping a few times. So like a dot of survival, like not anything great, but kind of like, oh yeah, I've been out in the bush kind of thing.
You can put up a tent. You can make sure you don't get flooded out for the most part.
Yeah, just real sort of basic stuff there. And for backgrounds, what I was thinking of doing was mostly going. Oh, for sort of edges, I was thinking just mostly going just all redemption. So like the first level and the second level ability there. And the first one, I think Bluster is basically a defensive thing. It's kind of like
It is.
rolling for dodge, but I'm like, no, stop.
Yeah.
So, and I think the way I understand it, I can do that for somebody else too, right? Because I'm targeting the thing that's doing the attacking. So if somebody's like coming after somebody else, I can be like, stop, and take away successes from their to hit rolls and whatnot. And then insinuation, kind of similar. I can give difficulty increases to their dice, and if I get an exceptional success, might actually cause them to be like, oh god, what am I doing? Like depending on the monster, like, and kind of remember what it was, if it was at one point human or something like that, which I thought was really cool. It's left it kind of, I thought it was kind of vague, but I thought there was a lot of opportunity for that if that ever happened there. For backgrounds, right now I was just thinking mostly contacts, because since he kind of had the mental breakdown, he's been spending most of his time volunteering with different charities in the area, just pretty much just trying to make sure that like what happened to him and his family doesn't happen to somebody else. And so he's pretty much dedicated his life to like just food, has the naloxone kit, like first aid kit, just riding his bike, going around down, checking up on people, just trying to make sure like no judgment, that everyone's okay. And then I thought it would be really fun to take a high amount of patron for backgrounds, just because that's it's basically, it looks like the one of sorry. Hi, buddy. Is that all right?
Does he know?
Yeah,
does he know that he's a 1-point flaw?
He is not a 1-point flaw.
He's a 4-point flaw.
Aw.
Hey, buddy. He just woke
That's
up.
right.
So
He gives you more dots and other things.
That's
Yep.
true.
So why is that
Yeah,
a bad thing?
There we go.
So patron, I think means that I get more messages from things, which I thought would be kind of fun, where somebody who already has a little bit of a history of having a break at some point in the past. And then merits and flaws. As much as like he is does have some issues that he's trying to work through, I thought with his previous job, not getting a lot of sleep and always trying to fake and kind of wear a bit of a mask to pump himself up for being that positive influence in other people's lives. A bundle of energy sounded kind of nice. Same with approachable. I thought
Nice.
concentration would be applicable as well, just because he's used to a lot of distractions on the job. Pillar of the community for
Nice.
like, so he is well known for going out there doing a bunch of different things, and then
Cool.
and is constantly there. He was pretty good with his money, so I did give him 1 dot of independent income, so he
Okay.
is able to afford renting an apartment building with that. So he does pretty much now just dedicate his life to, like, he's going through his savings, just spending his life just volunteering.
Nice.
For flaws, I gave him low self-esteem, which
Okay.
sounded absolutely brutal, and I thought that would be fitting for the character. I also gave him medicated for one. He is definitely on some antidepressants at the moment.
Yay.
And he wears contact lenses and has no sense of smell.
I almost
Wow,
took no sense
okay.
of smell. Oh, I'm glad I didn't.
I had a
Be
neighbor that
medicated
had-
and no sense of smell.
I had a neighbor that had no sense of smell and cats. And
That
we had
sounds
to
like a bad-
evacuate the building because we all have gas stoves.
Oh no.
Oh,
Nothing
dear.
blew up, but that was an interesting day.
Oh,
I
dear.
oh, speaking of pets, he does have a cat as well that he does try to look after. It's
Cool.
a little tuxedo cat named Chairman Mau Mau, after the Apothecary Diaries character Mau Mau.
Nice.
He's a weeb too.
Um.
Take the 4-point weeb flaw.
Is there a 4-point weeb flaw? I will take it for no extra points, but I will take it. Yeah, he is a bit so he's just trying to just help and make sure that nobody else has to go through what he's been going through. It hit him, it hit him hard and harder than he thought. So he's got a lot of self-doubt that he tries to mask behind and find value in serving other people.
Fair. Your edge selection is perfectly valid. I do recommend checking out the Redeemer Creed book if you would like to see a couple of alternative ones, because they're also pretty good. And anyone who does Mercy could also use them.
Cool. Do you recommend any? Because if
I'm
uh,
really
So
surprised
the
you didn't go
level-
martyr, though, like with that backstory.
Fair. I mean, yeah, but the fun thing is that you can change creed, but maybe he's also just like, this is the person he wants to be. We can also discuss, like, after the imbuing, depending on what your character does, whether or not the creeds you have selected actually work for them.
has anybody else chosen martyr?
Nope.
I might take a look at that and change that.
Okay.
I haven't
I
really looked
will
into
say
it too much, but
so the alternative redeemer edges for level 1 and 2. Level 1 is called Outreach, and it's basically, it allows you to appear reasonable and non-threatening to one monster, so that you can maybe talk to them, kind of thing.
God, really? That's
Level
so
2
good.
is Insight, which is with sufficient observation, certain hunters find it possible to deduce information about a monster's past life as a human.
oh, that does
Right?
sound, yeah, that does sound good, doesn't it? Yeah, sure.
But yeah, absolutely take a look at Martyr as well. Both of them I think will fit. They're just different vibes. But also check out how each one how they tend to go through their imbuing. Kind of
Mhm.
like what actions they take, because that's really what determines your creed, right? Like,
Well, one of
the most
one of
obvious
the
is an
reasons
Avenger.
why I went for
being like,
Redeemer.
yeah.
One of the reasons why I went for Redeemer is I wanted to play a character that is, depending on like what we are up against, is more concerned with saving them, especially
Yeah.
with a lot of the stigma that other people get, especially some of the less fortunate populations, like that are looked down on. Like, what if this is just like, maybe this was human and can be again. Maybe there is still some of that there, and like the focus is on saving.
Yeah, which is honestly, like, sounds reasonable. Take a look at a few things, see what you want. If you stay with Mercy, which it sounds like you're going to either way, we still have 2 Mercy, 2 Zeal, which is kind of a nice balance, but I'm also not
No
opposed
vision.
to no vision. Visionaries. Cool. No, that sounds great. How about the other two of you? Cal or Chaz? One of you want to talk about your
How
character in
much
any
you
way?
got?
I have a basic concept. I don't have much of the character sheet filled out, but I am playing Samuel Bishop, and essentially his job is a forensic accountant. So, the enemy of the Bruce media, probably. The idea is he graduated probably a couple years ago, has made a name for himself, and is probably currently being sued. For
Oh,
not,
geez.
probably for not accepting a bribe, but I'm choosing judge because I kind of like the idea of not killing a monster outright, because not all the monsters got to choose; they got to be monsters, and humans can be just as much of a monster. So someone that sees the
Nice.
balance in both sides.
Cool. That sounds great. Do you have any thoughts on, I mean, character sheet is attributes and abilities. That's pretty standard WOD, and it really doesn't matter in terms of the group, kind of what you really end up choosing. Though it is sounding like most people are not necessarily physicals primary, which is great. Delightful.
No, probably more
Burton is
physical
physical.
secondary for him.
Just me.
Definitely.
Mostly
Yeah,
falling
Yeah, I
off
think
things.
Kelly's the only one. Yeah, physical is
Okay.
the secondary, is mentals is primary.
Fair. But yeah, it's fine if you haven't thought of things like backgrounds or merits and flaws yet or anything like that. But have you looked at edges at all? Out of curiosity.
I was looking at them while we were talking, and
Nice.
I know lots of choices. There's a lot of cool ones.
Yeah, there are, and yeah, I think the judge one's discern is cool. It's actually something I forgot to mention about conviction, and this is the other thing that's why conviction's important. Is that you spend it to gain second sight, which is where you can see a monster for what it really is. You don't necessarily get like the specifics because you'd have to have the knowledge of, oh, that's what a vampire looks like. But you might see that's a corpse. Does anybody else see the corpse? So that's one of the main reasons why you spend conviction, and why it's important to be able to, gain more after the fact.
Hey, Jen.
Discern is like a more powerful version of that, really. But
If
yeah.
you want to have some fun, tell Cal what you can spend conviction for and watch his eyes roll back in his head.
God.
For mental intrusion.
Oh yeah. Because that's the other thing that conviction is good for. But hold on, I want to actually see where the where are you? Conviction. Come here, because I want to make sure I get them.
Good credit rating, only 2-point merit.
Apparently,
Yeah, it doesn't say you have
that
minus.
was easier. Okay, spending conviction. Conviction makes it possible for hunters to wage their war. It's literally the thing that keeps you alive. So, spending conviction gets the following benefits, and spending conviction does not interfere with your ability to risk conviction. So, unlike willpower, where you can like only spend one per scene or whatever, you can spend a conviction as much as you want, then you can risk it for edge rolls and stuff. So there's a lot you can do with it. But let's see. Perception, you get your second sight. You can see, it allows you to recognize all supernatural creatures as not human or not living in some way. You can see spirits or ghosts that are normally invisible. Spending conviction, you can also do it as a reaction to something. So like immediately, you don't have to, like if we were in a fight, you wouldn't have to spend your turn doing it. If you feel something, like if you make an awareness roll and you feel something hinky going on, you can spend conviction as a reaction. Then you can also where is it here? You're also immune to all illusory powers while second sight is on. You can see through artificial hallucinations or any sort of things like that. You can supernaturally imposed fear does not affect your character when you spend a point of conviction. So all those fear-based powers don't work. And then you can, I know the one that Kelly wants me to say, but I'm also just looking through here.
There's a lot. It's
Yeah. But yeah, basically, any sort of mind control from a supernatural ability doesn't work.
Yeah,
Just
and
you
that's
can't be possessed. You
you
can't
can't be
be dominated.
bloodbound.
You can't be bloodbound.
Spending 1
You're
point of conviction breaks a 3-point bloodbound instantly.
yeah.
Oh wow, this tastes funny, eh? Slaps
Um,
knee. Well, I think it's time for you to go.
It's time to head on out. The one I was reading for no particular reason earlier was about possession, where you like something can try to possess you, and then and this is without spending conviction. Your body just rejects it.
Wait,
Just
really?
the fact that you're
Yay.
the fact that you're a hunter, your body just rejects possession.
Hell yeah.
That implies something right off the bat.
Yes, it does.
Players are already possessed. I mean, what? Who said that?
Yeah, exactly. There's no room at the end, man. Move on.
Just see a visible hand go out going, taken.
Right.
Now, flick.
Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, conviction is fun. But back to judge stuff. Discern is kind of a more focused version of that, except for like some of the protective abilities, but like the identification abilities. Where did I put the is it here? No. Here it is. Yeah, it's a hyper alertness to supernatural creatures, a surreal perspective that allows you to perceive things about the unknown that most could not. Also allows you to see in the dark. Discern
Yeah, so it
does.
can't be blinded at all. Even
Yeah,
if your
right.
eyes are closed. That is trippy.
Which is right. It's so good. And then Burton is the second level of the core, which just it will keep a supernatural being from moving too far. I think it can move like a foot, but that's it.
nice.
Which is a great way to just freeze something that's trying to harm you.
I think I did that in your game. I froze a bunch of vampires and slaughtered them right afterwards.
Yeah,
Something like
right. And then let's look at the alternates here.
Yeah, 'cause I'm not gonna have to judge, but
Oh.
I'm not seeing much, or I'm just missing them.
They're toward the end.
Yeah, they're in like page 73 is
Okay,
where I
there we
am
go.
right now.
Wait, okay.
Yeah. Also, if anybody's interested, in the Creed books are also alternative abilities and alternative archetypes that may match your character slightly better than the ones in the core.
Vigilance.
I have
Sleep needed
vigilance
for 24 hours. What?
where you don't need sleep. Yeah. It's so good. It's like if you have 1 to 2 points of zeal per 24 hours of activity, you only need 6 hours of sleep. If you have 10 points of zeal, you only need minutes or perhaps none.
10 minutes. 10 minutes. That's the life, right?
Right.
What's the opposite of that?
Heavy sleeper, deep sleeper. Yeah. Oh, and anathema is amazing because you basically make yourself taste terrible to vampires, or make someone taste terrible to vampires,
Like Gale.
or any supernatural that draws energy from a mortal in some way. You can make a mortal not work for that. But you have to like actually mark them with a sign of judgment.
Confession.
Give them an
there's
audit
some
notice.
Fun ones.
Yeah. But yeah, so that is that. And of course there's the other zeal ones, because you guys can take, basically, as long as you have the virtue points for it, you can take whatever abilities you want, because I mean, there maybe you'll get to 10 points, but then you're basically, well, you're kind of an unplayable character at that point. But by that point, we'd be at the end, and you'd have to have gained like 2 virtue points a game, more or less. And that's a lot.
Cleave is just fun to have.
So
Cleave is just
good.
fun to have, but if you're not aiming for any particular level 3 point, or like a level 3 ability, you could just take from other the other virtue, like the other creeds, basically. They're kind of tracks, if you want something out of there instead. So,
Okay.
as a judge, you could take cleave if you wanted as a judge.
Because it's just under
And
zeal.
yeah, you just spend a point for that, and then you'd spend a point for like discern, say, and then you'd have a point left over that you could save for when you get another point, and then you could have a level 2, or you could spend it on the uh on ward or alarm, I think is the other defender, level 1,
Yep.
something like that.
Alert.
But yeah. So really, while things it seems siloed and segmented, it's really just thematic, and you can kind of pick and choose from wherever you want, so long as you have the virtue points. Cool. Yeah, we'll work on your actual character build at some point, because I don't want to keep everyone on the call forever. But let's hear
Yeah.
about Cal's character to round us out.
All right. They are Todd Breaker. Their creed is innocent. I'm going to assume their primary virtue is mercy. I went social, physical, then mental as for their attribute scaling, and I kind of picture them like especially after hearing everyone else's characters, they're going to be like the Flanders or the Peter from Deadpool,
Nice.
like of the group. They're just like a guy that's like here. But also, if any of you watched Tool, I was gonna say the fake
Home Improvement?
what was Home Improvement? Thank you. I was gonna
Are
say
you
Tool
Al
Time, and
Borland?
I'm like, no, that's
I did think you were
and-
going to say Tool Time, and I was like,
That's
no,
what I was thinking
couldn't.
too.
yeah. And he's kind of like the owl.
You need a beard.
But I can't grow.
I didn't say
facial
grow
hair.
one.
Oh, geez.
Get your
That's
prop
true.
game
If
on.
any of you have any here, just is there a way I can just take your?
I need mine for my character, but you can take Chris's.
Oh, okay, Chris, you know what you have to do. So yeah, I'm, like I have written down for concept like measure twice, cut once.
Delightful.
So as a result of that, I gave him like no manipulation, like he feels
Cool.
bad. I think there's like a honest to a fault flaw I saw somewhere.
Probably. Yep.
I don't have his abilities. I tend to do that part last, because like everything
Fair
else
enough, yeah.
comes together.
Yeah.
But I have like his charisma fairly high. Maybe I'll switch some dots around because his appearance seems too high as well. And then
Yeah.
like 3 strength, 3 dex, 3 stamina. But so social, and then physical, and then mental, which will be fun because I think a few other people chose mental first.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I think we have
and
two mentals. So
Yeah. And for the merits, I chose like approachable,
cool.
and people person. So he just makes good first impressions. But also optimistic. And I think what he gets just like an extra willpower in the morning instead of
Okay.
like I think the default is like you just get 1 willpower from resting.
Yeah, if you sleep 8 hours, you get a willpower if you've spent any. So you get an extra one if that's the case.
I just chose optimistic because that's how the character feels.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, I'm
Fair.
going to take this regardless of the mechanics of it.
Totally.
And then
yeah.
I chose balding just because it was in there. And he's got kind
Well,
of
now
like
you
a
know where you
Jude
get your
Law.
beard from.
Wait, are you telling me that
You'll have to cut it off, but yeah.
No, if you just split it down the middle, like real severely, put giant sideburns and then like
You
yeah,
know,
there you go.
I think that could
You look
work.
like a babushka when you do that. Like,
I do kind of look like,
right.
oh, Sweetie, have you eaten today?
Right.
I love. I had a work babushka.
Nice.
I miss my work babushka. Anyways, I don't even know is that the right word?
like, sure.
Yeah. So I have bad liar.
Mhm.
Child, because he has kids. I was also thinking of the merit, just because it's funny and it's kind of like reflects my IRL situation. What was it? Was like high income partner.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, oh boy, that frees up the time to do projects around the house.
Right, there you go.
But so yeah, like people person, approachable, right? But then gullible and trusting as flaws.
Nice.
So that
nice.
like merit of like people opening up to him more easily and him reading people more easily, but then also like being gullible and like wanting to like see the best in people and yeah, I'm excited. Another like all of these like concepts together, it was like Flanders and Al from like Home
Yeah.
Improvement, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
also visually speaking, I pictured him like Mr. Incredible, but like when he's
The
just like
non-super
in the
version.
office.
Yeah.
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 Right, just like
Beautiful.
the work shirt, like hunching over and like trying his best and being like, holy cow, like it was way easier when I could just fly, but like without the flying around like part, right? And just
Right.
but without the, don't want to go too Flandereses, right? But like the trusting and gullible is more like wanting and assuming like the best of like people.
Did you say you originally were
Maybe
thinking
that's
of,
too much. Maybe it's like way too like overlapping, like trusting and like maybe I could shrink all that down to just one or two of those things, but I just kind of throw everything on that I like at the beginning of character creation, and then I'm like, oh geez, I've got like 17 points of merits. Okay, how do I? And then I like
Right.
distill it down to like what
Fair
fits the
enough.
best.
But
And
that's the
all
general vibe.
Yeah, that's the vibe.
Chris
and
was
so
going
it'll
to
be
say something, I
interesting.
think.
Yeah,
sorry,
go
did
ahead.
you say you were going to have a decent appearance score? Or
Yeah.
we're thinking good because like, you know, you got Al, you've got stupid sexy Todd, I mean Flanders, like it's fitting.
I thought about that.
Stupid sexy
sexy
Todd.
Flanders. It's like I'm wearing
Stupid
nothing at
sexy
all.
Todd.
Nothing at all.
Beautiful.
And yeah, I
have
guess
you
he's
looked
gonna
at
be the social.
Have you looked at edges?
build.
I know you asked in our private
I-
chat where the edges were, but I was wondering
I'm
if you
gonna
looked at
jump
them.
to the page. Where was that? It's like a little bit later in the.
Yeah, innocent is the level 1 for innocent is hide, and it's not a bad one. However, I am going to recommend specifically for your character that you take the alternative version out of the Innocent Creed book.
I have that
because
open.
it's called Fool's Luck.
Oh, it's so good.
It's page
Luck.
79 of the PDF. It's like 78 of the book, but it's basically if the hunter's life or ability to carry on the mission is significantly and immediately at risk, you may use this edge. The risk may come from mundane or supernatural sources, but it must be real. Attempts to invoke the edge when there's no threat fail automatically. You make the roll, blah, blah, blah. Success indicates that a small event or development occurs in the character's favor, helping him escape his dire fate. The nature of this occurrence is up to the storyteller, blah, blah, blah. But it's basically like good karma, just random good things happen when you're in dire straits.
I was hoping there was something like that.
I love it so much.
Like not quite like Mr. Magoo levels, but like a supernatural.
Yeah.
Supernatural luck that is like trying to steer
Yeah.
things in the right way. Sold.
Yeah, you're Peter in Deadpool as you like show up in front of this murderous crowd of Deadpools, and they just adopt you as because everybody has a Peter.
Everybody has a Peter, or everybody fails the parachute down.
Yeah.
And he just happens to land in a field. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That. The second level is also pretty good, I think, for yours, but I can't remember I should have it here actually. Where's
It's
the second
ease
level for?
right underneath that.
Yeah, ease is there, and then right, illuminate is the core book one, which is it makes it possible for you and other hunters to identify supernaturals, but also the monsters can see that you've used it. And they know who it's come from.
Super useful.
Oh, geez.
You're like, that guy's a monster. And the monsters are like, fuck you. Like,
Very sign above your head going, this guy right here.
Well, I'm imagine it's like, like your aura like flares or like shines or like whatever.
Oh, you're walking toward me, the monster says.
Oh, so you approach me. This is random, but that kind of reminds me of the TV show Grimm.
Yeah, which is coming back, by the way.
No.
Yeah, they're making a revival of it.
And the acting was so bad in the first season, but I liked the premise. And the premise was this normal dude suddenly gets weird glimpses of like monster-like people here and there. But when he's getting that weird glimpse, it never shows them what they see him. They like see something on him because it's always from his perspective, and they freak out and like run away. That's exactly what that reminds me of. So I kind of like that. Like, oh, hey, wow, there's like a scary person over here who needs our help. Let's go and say hi. And just like him like trying to like introduce himself to someone and like like an entity being like the meme of like the one person like speed walking after another and the other one like speed walking and pretending they're not running away. I kind of like that.
That's fantastic.
Come back here and let me help you.
So good.
And you said so like if I took the like
Yeah.
the first level in say the edge in the Creed book,
Mhm.
that if I was to take like the second level in the core book, you could use like Fool's Luck and then that
Illuminate. Yeah,
illumination.
absolutely. Yeah.
Kinda like
Yeah,
that.
you can absolutely do that. Ease is also good because it's like you can talk down. You basically become the hostage negotiator.
Kind of like that.
Right?
Both are good.
Both are good. But yeah, so think about that.
I will.
I'll also say I think the other thing, if I remember correctly, is that you can't really bounce between creeds when you go like you can't do like the level 1 Avenger and the level 2 Defender and the level 3 Judge, right? Like you kind of have to go up a tree, but you can have multiple trees going essentially. Just
Yeah,
you
you
only have
can't
so
go
many-
like
so many
level
points.
1 and like a mercy thing and then level 2 and
Well, you can, yeah, and you can go like, if you say did an innocent level 1 and a redeemer level 1, you could do an innocent level 2 and a redeemer level 2, provided you had the points in mercy. But your points in mercy only go to 10, so you keep that in mind. And you go more insane as your virtue track goes up, not necessarily because you have high level powers.
I see.
Yeah. I think it's once you hit 7, you start every virtue point you go up, you gain a derangement.
Oh,
So by the time you
geez.
hit 10, you have
Yep.
7, 8, 9, 10. You have 4 derangements. Yeah. Yeah. It's a
that
good time.
explains a lot.
There's also there's 2 creeds that aren't mentioned in the core book because so every virtue has 3 creeds. So your mercy, you have your redeemer, your innocent, and your martyr. Your zeal, you have avenger, defender, and judge. For vision, the only one in the core book is visionary. However, there are 2 others. They're hermit and wayward. Hermits are hermits. They tend to be loners, and they don't like to associate with others. Waywards are an extreme version of Avengers, and Avengers are pretty extreme already. And they also tend to be loners and don't really mix well. And both of them, as they gain more in vision, escalate at a higher rate than anyone else. I believe it was I want to say it was Christine who was a wayward in my extra life game. Someone
Oh
was.
God, you
Someone
allowed a
was a
wayward?
wayward. I allowed a
think it-
wayward, yeah, because it was
Oh,
extra
God.
life,
That's fair.
right?
So wait. Do I take this to mean that in a game where we're allowed to have the demolition skill, nobody took demolitions? Not even Trazelta? Who are you?
Character's an engineer.
Who are you and what have you done?
So maybe.
And yeah, that's the other
What
kind of.
assumptions are you trying to say, Chris?
I was gonna say of all people, Kelly would actually probably be his character would be the one to take demolitions because of stuntmen. But
Fine.
Well, he's
I'll
the stunt.
do it.
He's the stunt person. He doesn't set
Yeah.
up
So
the
with his,
pyrotechnic.
no,
With
but
his,
he might know something. That's all I'm saying.
Might know how to avoid being blown up. Yeah.
There you
go. I'll take a point of security out and put it into demolitions. There we go.
Yay!
I forgot how to
But
pick a lock, but I do know how to blow something up.
There you go. Yeah, the fun and interesting thing about playing Hunter in Vancouver 2025 is the lack of access to guns. Even in the world of darkness.
I was going to say probably the only one of us, just based on background alone, that has easy access to guns would be Kelly's character.
Yep.
Like any kind of access to organized crime, and you can get it easily. But
Yeah.
otherwise,
But then
no.
Did you take shadowy past?
No, actually, because he stayed on the good side of it. But he did take his best friend is a God. What ranks are there? All right, I gotta do some research. I'll be back. Is a capo.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so I'm not saying you can't have any sort of weaponry, but there are challenges involved. But yeah, cool. That sounds like great characters. I think you'll all, if you lean into it, you'll all mesh relatively well enough. You'll probably have, the regular disagreements and stuff, but there are no Avengers and innocents bouncing off each other with like, kill everything. Why? But
No, those are the NPCs you'll have that we'll have to fight against.
I kind of like fully am expecting that it'll be like trying to save stuff and then just suffer because I can't. And it's just like, no, it had to die. It had to be put down, and then be like, oh, we'll try harder next time.
Yeah. But yeah, I think this is going to be good. I'm very excited about this particular plot, and if y'all go in the direction I'm not planning on for you to go, which is entirely possible, then it's going to be interesting. But
We'll start a dad motorcycle club.
I'm working on it right now.
yeah,
Wasn't there a movie
Yeah, Wild
based on
Hogs
that?
with Tim Allen. So you're halfway there, Al.
oh, there we go.
Al and Tim don't talk to each other anymore.
I wouldn't think so. Like in real life,
Yeah.
or
In my head canon is that they don't. Like Tim
Yeah.
goes, "Oh well, the woke mind virus got Al." Ho, 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 ho.
and Al's just like, I work at
Oof.
soup kitchens on the weekend.
Right?
Hmm.
Yeah. Cool. All right, let's
But I
just
wish my old
wrap
friend the
up here
best.
with some just the lines and veils. Probably a good thing to talk about. This is like I said, it's a brutal game. It can be pretty, violent and graphic, but the usual things apply, sorry, answering in the
I
private
don't want
chat there,
any
but-
isms or any type of bad SA type stuff in the game, unless like I actually heard when we were doing character creation for another game on onyxpath, Dixie brought up something really good. That's unless you can stop it. Like
I don't like isms unless it's the
unless I get a punch 'em.
antagonist or the I don't like isms unless we can fight it.
Yeah, kind of like in Victorian Mage, where we're like, give us sexism so that we can fight against it.
Yeah, which is lovely.
Right? Yeah, it is. Yeah, absolutely. And this is a very, we live in a particular world. This is a very local game. So I'm not going to be looking for or you know, using any sort of real world national level politics or anything like that. We're not going to go there. And yeah, that's basically what I have there, is just try and steer clear of the big bads. This is a game about fighting what you can fight, and let's kind of keep it at that.
Nice.
Yeah.
And my usual one is no harm against pets, because we love pets.
Yeah, fair.
Yep.
Cool. All right.
That
Well,
sounds
if anybody
good.
has anything else they want to tell me privately, you're also welcome to do that.
Nice.
Yeah, I think that's good for today. And game starts October 1st.
Yay!
Spooky season.
Spooky season.
Yes.
Spooky season.
Game
All
of
right.
monsters in spooky season.
So thanks, Jen, for running this character build in session 0. We will see you on October 1st. A big thank you to everybody who supports us on Patreon. For a full list of those, check the end of this episode. But you guys know who you are. I'm not going to list you all for such a short little thing. But if you want to help support this channel, head over to patreon.com/dorktales, and you can be just a part of the amazing crew that keeps this channel on the air, and you get to see a bunch of really cool content. Also, if you like what Jen's running, don't forget to go check out Jen's podcast, Paradox of Mage the Ascension Podcast, which is the best mage podcast that ever rolled D10s.
And I need to get back to it because
It's true.
life.
Well, we've just been waiting for you to tune in so that you could get caught up and let us know. But if you like this video, give us an upvote, give us a share, and we will see you on October 1st. Bye, everybody.